Ninth pick overall draft strategy and breakdown of a mock draft I did. So with the ninth pick, Christian McCaffrey fell to me. He's my number 7 ranked player on the board. So obviously to get Christian McCaffrey in this spot, it's very favorable in my opinion. I think CMC still has a very high ceiling. We know injuries have definitely been a problem for him on and off throughout his career. Last year he barely played, but like I said, the potential and then the Shanahan offense and his catching ability out of the backfield, even if his carries per game go down a bit, I still think McCaffrey, as long as he's healthy, he's a top 3, top 5 player. Then second round, Drake London I took in this draft. Drake London, I think, have another good season this year. Michael Penix, he's going to start from the get-go, where Kirk Cousins early in the year, he was coming off the Achilles, but him and London still make plays. But I think Penix, they took him for a reason, obviously, knowing that Cousins, he might not be the same. And now to start the year with Penix, I think Drake London could go out there, he could make plays, and to get him in the second round is good value. Then third round, and most of these mocks, if you've been watching the channel, Tyreek Hill, he just keeps falling in that third round, and I like the value. I've said it on and on, that Tyreek Hill, I think he has top 10 potential if he's right, if Tua is right and healthy. And this Mike McDaniel offense we've seen, when it's explosive, Tyreek Hill go out there and go for obviously over 1,500 yards and double-digit touchdowns. I'm not saying he's going to do that this season, but Hill, definitely in my opinion, as long as everything is going decent over there in Miami and Tua is upright, he's going to put up numbers. And fourth round, Kenneth Walker, one of my favorite values is Kenneth Walker. And I'm big on Kenneth Walker going into the season. So now, to start off my roster, consistency and not one lopsided position or not, to have Kenneth Walker, McCaffrey in the backfield solid. And Walker, like I said, as long as he's healthy, he's a solid back. Last year had some monster games for the Seattle Seahawks team. I know Charbonnet filled in at times when he had the injury, and he was solid. And this system is just a nice run system, and the Seahawks offensive line is solid, and Kenneth Walker has that home run ability as well. Then the fifth round, Joe Burrow, I like a lot in the fifth round, especially in the back end. Burrow has arguably the best weapons in all pro football. Chase Brown in the backfield, Jamar Chase, best wide receiver. Obviously, T. Higgins, when healthy, one of the better wide receivers in the league as well. Mike Gesicki at the tight end position. Noah Fant they added as well. So this team, they're loaded, no doubt about it, Cincinnati. And if their defense can't make stops, they're going to be in a lot of high-scoring games where he's going to have to put the football up his Burrow 40 or 50 times. To get him in the fifth round is great value. Sixth round, I went with T.J. Hawkinson. If he's healthy this season, now coming off his second year of the ACL, this is where players really get back to what they were doing and put up numbers. So T.J. Hawkinson, we know he was solid in his Lion days. I know J.J. McCarthy, first season as starting quarterback, it could take a little bit to get him going. But Hawkinson, he's a big target, got the nose for the end zone to make plays, and he's going to get a lot of easy coverage with obviously a lot of attention going Justin Jefferson's way. Then in the seventh round, I went with Jerry Jeudy. Last year, big year for Jeudy. As of now, I think Joe Flacco will be the starting quarterback for this Cleveland Brown team. We know Flacco, he's a veteran, pushing 40 years old now. He's got the gunslinger mentality. Jerry Jeudy, he's a big play, home run ability wide receiver. They signed him to the extension last year, and he's going out there making plays, and maybe really he was just held back over there in Denver, because last season in Cleveland, he was solid, was Jerry Jeudy, obviously. Then Jawan Jennings, I attacked the receiver position a little bit where I was a little thin after I evened my roster out going with quarterback and tight end back-to-back rounds. So Jawan Jennings last year had some big ball games, including a game over 190 yards, found the end zone 3 times. And I think Jennings, even though he wants a new contract, things will be resolved. And Brandon Ayuk, he's going to be out for a little bit, obviously, for this 49er team. He might not be ready in the early going. Then I went running back 2 in a row. Ramondre Stevenson, I still think is going to get touches. I think ninth round's good value. I know they got the rookie Henderson in the second round of the NFL draft, was this New England Patriot team. But Stevenson, he signed an extension last season. He's got decent hands out of the backfield. And you know, a lot of running teams is running back committee with 2 running backs. I think Stevenson is a bench piece, and my third running back's decent value. Then I went with another runner, J.K. Dobbins in the 10th. J.K. Dobbins, I think right now he'll be the favorite to start for this Bronco team coming out of training camp. I know it's only a 1-year deal. I know they drafted R.J. Harvey. We know they got McLaughlin there as well. And Javonte Williams, he left in free agency. And also Audric Estime, a big physical back, they got as well. So they got 4 backs over there, but I think Dobbins to start the year will be the starter. And we know it's the same deal with Dobbins each year. He goes down with injury, but like I said, he's my 4th running back is Dobbins. Then 11th round, Keon Coleman. I was big on him last season. I think people forgot about Coleman and actually writing him off a little bit. But like I said, there's not a real number 2 option in this passing game for this Bill team. I think Shakir in the passing game is the number 1 option. Cook, he could catch some passes out of the backfield. But Keon Coleman, I think he could step up. I know they got Kincaid at the tight end position, but I like Coleman, especially a late round flyer. Then to obviously ensure myself if CMC went down, I got his backup in handcuff Isaac Arendo, one of the better handcuff running backs in the league. We saw some explosive games out of him last season when Mason and McCaffrey were out for this 49er team. So Arendo to get him in the 12th round, and like I said, one of the better handcuffs. I like the move there, ensuring myself. And then to close it out, Keenan Allen back with the Los Angeles Chargers, and easily could step in as that number 2 wide receiver. Quentin Johnson the last couple of years, he's had drop problems. Harris, they drafted him, but I don't think he's ready for a starting role. And obviously it's pretty much Keenan and McConkey, and that's a great combo with great hands. I know Keenan, it was a down year last year in his only season with the Chicago Bears, but him and Herbert have great rapport over the seasons, and now to be back with Los Angeles, I think it's good value. So my final roster, Joe Burrow, a quarterback, to get him in the 5th round, I like it. Drake London, I think he has a good year with Michael Penix at quarterback. Tyreek Hill, if things just go decent over there, I think Hill could break out after a down year last season and get back to similar numbers he's put up prior with the Miami Dolphins. Then Christian McCaffrey, if healthy, obviously I think he's a top line player where he could be a top 3, top 5 player. CMC could do it all out of the backfield in a favorable offense, obviously with Shanahan. And Brock Purdy fits that offense well, and he's been a good quarterback in that system. Then Kenneth Walker. If I went into a season with CMC and Walker as my running backs, I'd be very thrilled. Kenneth Walker has that home run ability. Nice running back out of the backfield. Could play all 3 downs. Good catching out of the backfield as well. So I like Walker there. TJ Hawkinson, if healthy, he's got potential to be obviously a top 5 tight end. We'll see how he does with McCarthy in there as his first year at the quarterback position. But obviously with Justin Jefferson, teams are going to focus on him, and Hawkinson can work the middle of the field, the red zone and the end zone. Then Jerry Jeudy, number 1 option over there in Cleveland. I don't think this Cleveland team's going to be really good. They're going to be trailing early and often have to chase points. Jeudy had a nice year last year with a lot of nothing going on at quarterback. But I believe Flacco will start the year as the starter. Then Jawan Jennings, more depth at the wide receiver position, another San Francisco 49er, where he fits that system well. He had some big games, and him and Brock Purdy go back to where they were in the second team with obviously this 49er team as the backups, and they have good rapport. So I like Jennings as a receiver coming off the bench. Stevenson, I still think is going to have a role with this Patriot team, and to be a backup back, someone to fill in bye weeks, or possibly if someone goes down with injury, I'd be comfortable still with Stevenson as a fill-in, but as a backup, obviously I like him better. J.K. Dobbins now with the Broncos. Obviously, he's been a solid back throughout his career, but injuries have done him in with torn ACLs, torn Achilles a couple times, and now with another team here in the Denver Broncos, where I think to start the year, he'll be the starting back, but R.J. Harvey, as the year goes on, will eat into the workload. And we know also as well, Sean Payton likes using multiple backs. Keon Coleman definitely could be a sleeper this season. A lot of people writing him off after he was very inconsistent in his rookie year, but we saw the potential and some big play ability. Then Isaac Arendo, once again, obviously to ensure myself if McCaffrey went down, you got to go out there and get his handcuff. And regardless, even if I didn't draft obviously McCaffrey, Arendo, one of the better handcuffs, and I think he could start for half the league. Arendo, if he was on another team, we see the breakaway speed last year. He can make plays in between the tackles and a little out of the backfield as well. And then to round it out, Keenan Allen just signing on with the Los Angeles Chargers. Still has good hands. Him and Justin Herbert have a great rapport. Obviously, Allen, he's up there in age a little bit, and he's definitely lost his step, but still sharp route running at times. Good hands where he can make catches that are tough to make in traffic. And like I said, when you got a rapport like Allen and Herbert have, where it's just timing more than anything, instead of just staring a player down and the ball will be there, I think Keenan Allen could be a nice sleeper for fantasy owners going back to the Chargers. So that's 9th pick. Overall, I like the way this roster shook out. Took a few risks in this fantasy draft, but I like the way this roster turned out with the 9th pick overall entering the 2025 fantasy football season.